Forget the fame, go and make your name, go and break the mold. Don't forget your goals, focus on the dream, cause it can be done. Break through and become a champion.
Doesn't matter where you came from or who you got your name from, when everyone can see exactly what you're really made of. Impersonations can't mimic determination and work ethic you perfected in your quest to reach perfection. Even though achievements reinforce that you believe in. Reason most important to you are the levels your potential's fully capable of reaching. You practice what you're preaching, to know what you're teaching. Your passion in the fire, motivation and desire. You play with every game to make the public feel inspired. And glad they bought the ticket, had them driving poor conditions. Even fans of your opponents couldn't bear the thought of missing another chance to witness what might just be the greatest moment ever seen before in sports entertainment. So support for the players isn't something we ignore. When performances like yours are reasons why we love the sport.
Forget the fame, go and make your name, go and break the mold. Don't forget your goals, go and get the cash. Forget the past, go and get respect, but keep yourself in check. Forget the fame, go and make your name, go and break the mold. Don't forget your goals, focus on the dream, cause it can be done. Break through and become a champion.
Do the stomp, all day, let's get him. Do the stomp, all day, let's get him. Do the stomp, I'ma do it all day, till I make it all day, all day. Do the stomp, all day, let's get him. Do the stomp.
And welcome back to yet another review by Ce5. Ooh, this one's an interesting one. Okay, my peeps. This one comes all the way to us from Romania. I've been meaning to get around to doing this review, but I wanted to do it proper. After I had my computer dilemma, I wanted to make sure my computer was straight and that I could actually pull this review off. Because this is going to be a little bit of a lengthy review. I'm going to try to work my way through this, not so much as a snail's pace, but enough to where I can condense 4 products into one video, okay? So, the name of the shop that this comes from should be popping up right here in this corner, and that is...
Etigara Electronica.
And then once again, that is...
Etigara Electronica.
I can't pronounce that. I had to have Google Translate text-to-speech help me on that one. Don't mind my throat. Got a little bit of an allergy issue going on right now, my peeps. Anyways, the products that was sent to me from the owner of that shop in Romania. We've got 2 e-liquids that we're going to look at, and we've got a couple of claromizers. Interesting claromizers. Okay, one of which I have another one for another review coming up, but I wanted to get this one done finally now that all my computer problems are over with. Got all my video editing stuff straight, and I'm actually doing the best reviews that I've ever done before. So, bearing that in mind, product number 1. Over there, they call this the Ce5 version 3 no wick. Okay, it's basically a claramizer that has a cartomizer CE hybrid type atomizer on the inside of it. It's a polycarbonate tank. Okay, which means juices will crack this thing. You know, certain tank crackers, certain strong juices will crack it. It holds 1.6 mil of e-juice, and now that shop
Etigara Electronica
has it for $5.82. Now the atomizer on the inside of the tank you can actually replace. I'll demonstrate real quick. Now this part here, my peeps, is the part that you can unscrew and replace. The best way to go about filling this up, and I'll demonstrate that now because obviously I can do it. You basically take the cap end off there, mouthpiece, drip tip, and You take your bottle of V-Juice. Works best if it has a needle tip on it. And you basically just tilt it. And I found that if you go around like so, that will fill it up a lot faster. And you just want to fill it up to the top of that black line there. And that will give you 1.6 ml of V-Juice. Now, how does it vape? Well, it doesn't vape altogether that great. I'll show you here real quick. I mean, yeah, it vapes decently. But for $5.82, it vapes that. It vapes about $5.82 worth, you know. So, and when you get this tank, it will just come in a basic white plain box. I would rate this tank kind of middle of the road. It's not like up there with high-end stuff, but it's not like bottom of the totem pole to where it's the Ce4 style where you have to pitch it, because you can rebuild the atomizers that are in here. You can rebuild them. Doesn't take very much. Maybe I'll do a video on that sometime in the near future. Okay, so moving on to the next product. It's called the Mega Twix, okay? And it says on the box, for double joy. See that? For double joy. And on here it kind of demonstrates what you can use this on, but you know, why would you go buy that? I don't mean why would you go and buy it. I'm saying why would you go buy with what is on the box? Basically, it just has a 510 thread, which, let me show you right here. Pull it off of my Leo with all the adapters I have on it. Okay, now, you see that? That's a 510 thread. It's a sealed 510 thread, which means your juices aren't going to leak down into your connection on your mod, your battery, whatever it is that you're using it on. Now, personally, I'm actually using this on my Leo, which, that's the Leo made by Boge. Can't get them anymore. Leo, or Boge quit making it. Now, this is what this one vapes like. Much better tank. Okay? Now let's talk about the tank a little bit. You can see it's 2 tanks stacked on top of each other. Wow. Okay. So, I don't know why they call it the Mega Twix. It might have something to do with the fact that you could add a 3rd and 4th tank, even though it's not recommended you do. Because every single time that you add a tank onto the first tank, it goes by half. You add a 3rd tank, then you have to subtract or divide the total resistance by 3. If you go 4 tanks, then you have to divide it by 4, so forth, and, you know, I mean, the resistance will get lower every time you stack another tank. Each tank individually comes with atomizers that are mid-coil, okay? They're not top coil, they're not bottom coil, so they're mid-coil. This is the only mid-coil that I know in existence. You can't use any kind of atomizer on this particular tank but the ones made for this tank, so therefore the atomizers are proprietary. However, they are rebuildable, which is nice because I'm actually going to take a crack at rebuilding these too, because if I do it right with some microcoils, bring the resistance even further down, throw it on, say, I don't know, the Nemesis. I mean, yeah, it might have a weird look, but you put it on a Nemesis, maybe put an airflow control ring on top of that, it should vape pretty damn good, especially if you use a cotton build on it. Now, each tank holds 1.8 milliliters worth of juice, so 1.8, that's 3.6 milliliters, which is not bad, okay? Now, if you look, I actually have two different juices in this. I have one at the bottom and one at the top, which means you can mix and match your juice flavors, okay? Right now I have a vanilla custard in here, and then on top I have a strawberry, which gives me a strawberry vanilla custard. It works. It does work. I mean, you could actually take, I could clear this out and I could put menthol in here, and then put chocolate up here, and I'd have a chocolate menthol, okay? Or if I wanted a coffee menthol, I could put a coffee down here and a menthol up here. Just mix and match it. It's pretty cool. Now, each atomizer is 3.6 ohms. So, divided by 2, that gives you 1.8 ohms. So, in essence, this whole thing acts as a 1.8 ohm atomizer. Alright. Which is good, because that means you're on the low end of resistance, and you can crank up the wattage on whatever device you're using. Wattage. With voltage, doesn't necessarily work that way. With the Leo, I get 4.2 volts every time I hit the button. Every time. 4.2 volts. Now, if I was to use a regular Ego style battery with this tank, I would only get like a 3.7 volts. So 4.2 to 4.5 volts is the reasonable range for a double stacked Mega Twix. Let's have another two. Vape's pretty good, just out of the box, you know. Now, the only drawback to this tank, okay, and that's the reason why I need to rebuild it, is because the wicks don't go out very far. So if your juice gets down to a certain level, you're stuck. You're having to tilt it every time. Tilt it every time. And we know what happens with Viva Novas when we tilt them every time. You end up getting dry hits. You end up getting juice in the mouth. You know, it's not pleasant. So, removable drip tip. I forgot to mention that. Removable drip tip. This is not the original drip tip that came with it. I don't know what the heck happened to the original drip tip because it wasn't in the package. But neither here nor there. You know, any 510 style drip tip would work with this. I'll give you an example. This will probably actually make it look better than what I've got on there. It does. Okay. That's a flux drip tip from Someday Sig. And Someday Sig is based out of China. So I'm really throwing the whole works into this international video I'm doing here. What else can I say about the Mega Twix? Pricing on the Mega Twix from
Etigara electronica.
is $12.96. So that's the Mega Twix. Now we're going to take a look at the two e-liquids that was sent to me from...
Etigara electronica.
I just love hearing that female voice. Where's the shop again?
Etigara electronica.
Right. It's that shop right listed right up here in the corner that I can't pronounce. So, I mean, to hear me say it, you'd be laughing. Well, why not? I'll give it a try. Itagra Electronica.
Etigara electronica.
Itagra Electronica. And I know I'm not saying it right, so group vape, everybody. Now, the liquids that were sent to me are actually Vapo. Vapo e-liquids, okay? So Vapo e-liquids is actually a subsidiary of Liberty Flights. That's awesome, because I just did a Liberty Flights review. So, it's all organic, and it's 100% BG. Now, the thing about Vapo e-liquids is this. If you get it from...
Etigara electronica.
It comes in 24 milligram, 21 milligram, 18 milligram, 12 milligram, 7 milligram, and 0 milligram. So you definitely got a choice there. But remember, your mix ratio is only going to be 100% VG. Okay? Now, price point on these are $4.55 for a 10 ml bottle. That's pretty reasonable, you know. Okay, so the first one we're going to take a look at, and you know, I better show you the label completely here. Excuse the sunlight.
Pepene galben.
So I get that to clear up there. Organic refill liquids. This one is Pepene Galban. I should probably ran that through the pronunciation too. But it's 10 mil. Says best used by January 2015. And the rest of it basically says keep out of reach of children. And I can't make out what the other portion is. But it does say made in the UK. And we all know that Liberty Flights is based out of the UK. They also have a branch here in the United States. However, you can't get Vapo e-liquids from the branch in the United States. So this is kind of a treat. Well, almost. So, the Pepene Galbande, which, you know what, when I go to edit this video, I'm going to run that through the translator too, and we'll see exactly how it's pronounced compared to what I'm saying.
Pepene galben.
Okay. I have the Pepene Galbande loaded up in my squid rebuildable, which I've done at 1.4 ohms on a microcoil with a cotton wick, and I've had the top cap drilled out for the air hole at 2 millimeters. Got that on there right? I don't know. Right there. Okay. Now I've got that on my Ego C upgrade, which I've got it on the 4.2 volt setting, which is the highest the Ego C will go. So let's have a bait, see what it's like. Now these came to me in an extra high, not extra high. Extra high would be 24. It came to me at high, which is 21 milligrams. So I'm going to bake this on something close to sub, you know.
Pepene galben.
100% VG, organic. There's no throat hit. And I've got this sucker low resistance. And you can see the vapor production was kick ass. Let's have another two. So if anybody's ever wondered how to get great vapor production by having an ego stick, there you go. Now, Pippin de Gaben, if I'm saying that right, is basically a mango, type of mango. I'm not sure which type of mango because I believe that Pippin Gabin is a foreign type mango, not indicative to what you would actually get here in the United States. Because I can taste the fruit. I'm just not sure that it's a mango that I've ever had. So, bearing that in mind, but for some reason I'm also picking up tobacco. So, I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to taste or not. But it's not a strong presence of fruit. So as far as taste factor goes on this, I have to really give it a thumbs down. I'm disappointed because of Tobacco being a subsidiary of Liberty Flights, but there's nothing we can do about that. I mean, of course, you know, they've got the picture of the bull on there, which I'm imagining that's supposed to represent somehow being intense or something. But it's not intense. There's awesome vapor production. But it's just not much taste. So I have to give that about a 3 out of 10. Throat hit, non-existent. And even though it's a 21 milligram, you would think there would be a throat hit there, but there's not. So, vapor production, 10 out of 10. So that's Depende Albande. Now here comes the big one. The other one that was sent to me is strawberry. Everything on the label is pretty much the same as the other bottle. You know, and I gotta say, these are completely different bottles. We have nothing like this in the United States, which is cool. I like how it looks. You know, it's got the safety lock feature on it. And once you take the cap off, it's like a little eyedropper there, that's cool too. That's completely different than what we have here. Now, the strawberry. Oh boy, we're about to see some clouds. I have that loaded up in my IGO-W, which I have dual microcold, cotton wick, and I've got the resistance set to this 0.6 ohms. This is sub-ohm, okay? The battery that's in this just came off the charger. It's an E-Fest 2000 mAh, so 4.2 volts, and I've got it on a Tesla M2 version 2, not the version 1 of the M2, but the version 2. So let's have a vape. Let's have a vape. I think the stormcast tonight says cloudy overhead. So, and you see, here's the problem with this. Even though the VG is 100%, max VG, there's no throat hits. Why? I mean, you would think a 21 milligram, and this again, 21 milligram, would have a throat hit. Now here's the other problem. I can taste strawberry, but very little. It's almost like Vapo e-liquid is meant for DIY purposes. And I don't understand that. You know, I don't get it. Now this one, I don't taste any tobacco. It's a very, very weak, very soft toned strawberry. But the little bit of strawberry that I am getting, it's almost like it's almost like it's almost like it's I want to say a ripe strawberry. I guess that's really the only thing I can define it as. But it's so soft. There's like hardly any there, you know. So these I'm going to use in my DIY kit when I do a review on DIY. So there you have it, folks. 4 products from Romania, from the shop.
Etigara electronica.
Once again, that's...
Etigara electronica.
And I want to thank Adrian. I'm so sorry, Adrian, that it took me so long to get this done. And I know that I didn't really have much good to say about the 4 products you sent me, but there are positive notes to this. These can work for beginners, which is good, okay? Even though the strawberry is so soft and is very little any there, you can work with that, you know? Even though the Petan de Gaban is very tobacco-y with a hint of mango, you can work with that. And as far as, you know, the best of the 4, in my opinion, is the Mega Twix. When I rebuild that, I'm probably going to be able to do it justice just by rebuilding both of those atomizers in it. Here I am rambling on, just like Todd would, you know. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the review. Thank you so much, Adrian, for sending these on to me. If you fancy trying one of these out for yourself, follow along to
Etigara electronica.
.or, as that is the website for it. Now, they do have a Facebook also, okay? So the Facebook should be scrolling across right about now. Please subscribe to my YouTube. And as always, my peeps, my peepettes, happy vaping.